Very good morning, students. Welcome back to online class. So far, we completed up to vernier caliper. Today, let me explain screw gauge. Screw gauge is an instrument that can measure the dimensions up to 1/100th of a millimeter or 0.01 millimeter. With a screw gauge, it is possible to measure the diameter of a thin wire and the thickness of thin metallic plates. Did you understand, students? With a screw gauge, it is possible to measure the diameter of a thin wire and thickness of thin metallic plates. Thickness of the coin also we can measure with the help of screw gauge. Description of screw gauge. The screw gauge consists of a U-shaped metal frame, a hollow object. A hollow cylinder is attached to one end of the frame. Grooves are cut on the inner surface of the cylinder through which a screw passes. On the cylinder, parallel to the axis of the screw, there is a scale which is graduated in millimeter. It is called pitch scale. One end of the screw is attached to a sleeve. The head of the sleeve is divided into 100 divisions. The head of the sleeve is divided into 100 divisions and it is called the head scale. The end of the screw has a plane surface. A stud is attached to the other end of the frame, just opposite to the tip of the screw. The screw head is provided with a ratchet arrangement. Ratchet arrangement is nothing but safety device to prevent the user from exerting undue pressure. Using the screw gauge. The screw gauge works on the principle that when a screw rotates in a nut, the distance moved by the tip of the screw is directly proportional to the number of rotations. Did you understand, students? The screw gauge works on the principle of screw. Pitch of the screw. The pitch of the screw is the distance moved by the tip of the screw for one complete rotation of the head. It is equal to 1 millimeter in a typical screw. Pitch of the screw is equal to distance moved by the pitch divided by number of rotations by head scale. Least count of a screw gauge. The distance moved by the tip of the screw for a rotation of one division on the head scale is called the least count of the screw gauge. Least count of the screw gauge is nothing but 0.01 millimeter. Definition of least count I told you already in the last class itself. A least count is nothing but the smallest length which can be measured by screw gauge is called least count of the screw gauge. So what is the least count, students? The least count of screw gauge is nothing but 0.01 millimeter. Like vernier caliper, here also we have zero error. When the movable stud of the screw and the opposite fixed stud on the frame area brought into contact. If the zero of the head scale coincides with the pitch scale axis, there is no error. What is no error, students? Look at the picture carefully. If the zero of the head scale coincides with the pitch scale axis, there is no zero error. There is no zero error. Look at the picture again. The first picture shows the no zero error. What is it? If the zero of the head scale coincides with the pitch scale axis, there is no zero error. What is positive error? when the movable stud of the screw and the opposite fixed stud on the frame are brought into contact. If the zero of the head scale lies below the pitch scale axis, the zero error is positive. The zero error is positive. Look at the picture clearly, students. Here, the fifth division of the head scale coincides with the pitch scale axis. Then the zero error is positive and is given by zero error is equal to plus n into LC, where n is the head scale coincidence. In this case, zero error is equal to plus 5 into 0.01 is equal to 0.05 millimeter. So the zero correction is minus 0.05 millimeter, students. Zero correction is what is that? Minus 0.05 millimeter. The next one is negative error. Look at the picture clearly, students. When the plane surface of the screw and the opposite plane stud and the frame are brought into contact. If the zero error of the head scale lies above the pitch scale axis, the zero error is negative. Once again, students, look at the picture clearly. If the zero of the head scale lies above the pitch scale axis, the zero error is negative. Here, the 95th division coincides with the pitch scale axis. Then the zero error is negative and is given by zero error is equal to, look at the formula, minus 100 minus n into LC. Substitute the value and simplify it. We are getting the answer minus 0.05 millimeter. Then the zero correction is what is that? Plus 0.05 millimeter. Did you understand, students? If it is a negative error, the correction will be in positive. If it is the positive error, the correction will be in negative. I hope everybody understood what I explained today. Thank you all, students.